From this it can be shown that by willing himself, he also wills other things. For whose purpose is to will the end principally, it is his to will those things which are for the purpose of the end. But God himself is the ultimate end of things, as is clear to some extent from what has been said. Therefore, from what he wills himself to be, he also wills other things, which are directed to him as to the end. Again, each one desires the perfection of that which is desired and loved by him for its own sake. For what we love for its own sake, we want it to be the best, and always to be improved and multiplied as far as possible. But God himself wills and loves his essence for his own sake, but it is not according to itself that it can be increased and multiplied, as is clear from what has been said above. But it is only multipliable according to its likeness, which is shared by many. Therefore God wills a multitude of things from the fact that he wills and loves his essence and perfection. Further, whoever loves something for its own sake and for its own sake, consequently loves everything in which it is found, just as he who loves sweetness for its own sake must love all sweets. But God wills and loves his being according to himself and for his sake, as was shown above. But every other being is a kind of participation of its own being according to likeness, as is clear to some extent from what has been said. It therefore remains that God, from this very fact that he wills and loves himself, wills and loves other things. Still, God willing himself wills all things that are in him. Now all things pre-exist in a certain way in him through their own reasons, as was shown above. God therefore, willing himself, also wills other things. Again, to the extent that something is of more perfect virtue, to the extent that its causality extends to more and more remote places, as was said above. But the causality of the end consists in this, that for its own sake, other things are desired. Therefore, the more perfect and more willed the end is, the more the will of the one willing the end extends to more things in proportion to that end. But the divine essence is the most perfect in the ratio of goodness and end. Therefore it diffuses its causality, especially to many things, so that for its sake many things are willed, and especially from God, who wills it perfectly according to all his power. In addition, the will follows the understanding. But God by his understanding understands himself principally, and understands other things in himself. Therefore, in the same way, he primarily wills himself, and by willing himself, he wills all other things. This is confirmed by the authority of the Holy Scriptures, for it is called Wisdom 11:25. For you love all that is, and hate none of the things that you have done.